Yo, welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and today's episode we're joined by a very special guest, current professional hockey goaltender, roller hockey goaltender, Jimmy Teed. Jimmy plays professional roller hockey, and he's overseas in Spain right now, and he's had a ton of different experiences with black ice. He's won tournaments, won national tournaments, won Narch over there. So I'm honored to have Jimmy on the podcast, especially being the first professional roller goalie on. So I'm very excited and extremely honored to have you on. So welcome to the show, Jimmy Teed.
Thank you very much. Excited to be here. Heard a few of the pods and it's been some really good chats. So excited to be here. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem. But like to start things off, like I like to ask, so like how are my guests doing? So like how's everything going with you? I know you're in Spain playing roller hockey right now. So like how's that all going?
Rock solid so far. I mean, it's pretty business as usual here. You work all week for those games on the weekend, and we're a couple weeks into the season now. We actually just played our first regular season game last weekend, so we're in the thick of it now. So, but all's well.
Yeah, there we go. Love to hear that. But how's the season been so far? And like I know you've only had one game, but like it whenever you're in the off season, like you're just waiting for opportunities like this to come and the season to start. So how's everything with that?
Real good. Our roster is real nice. Just the talent on paper for these European leagues is excellent, especially comparatively to the other teams around Europe and in Spain. So that's really exciting. We had a good preseason showing, I think, where we had for the most part our entire roster together, and I think everything looked pretty fluid. And then our first regular season game, I thought we did really well, and it was good to see like the compete level there. And you know, game one, everything's not going to be as perfect as you want in midseason form, but I certainly had a tough game. But the fact that we played so well and battled so hard, and we're still able to pull out a win, despite me kind of dragging the boys down, it felt like that's really encouraging. So hopefully when I'm in the flow of things and I feel like myself, which is hopefully this weekend, we'll be at the top of the league. So
Yeah, how do you like bounce back from games like that where you're not really like feeling it? You think you're dragging the boys down, but like how do you bounce back from that?
it's just the next puck. It's not much changes for me from game to game, from play to play. It's just the next puck, and as long as you get the win, that's kind of all that matters. But I mean, at this point, when you play at a high level, and we're not kids anymore. We've played thousands of games.
Yeah.
You can watch a game back, and technically everything in a bad game might look the exact same as it did in one of your best games ever. So it's just a matter of maybe sometimes it's how the bounces were going, or just you weren't tracking it that night, and it's just one of those nights. But the games aren't won or lost kind of on the night of the game. I always say they're won or lost on the weeks and months leading up to it. So I don't worry about it too much. I know the foundation is there and the work has been put in. So even my bad nights hopefully won't be so bad. And yeah.
Yeah, I like that mentality because like I'm like the same way where it's like doesn't matter what happened, like it could the shot before the night before, like it's one shot one save mentality, as I like to say, and like that's all you really like. If you think too far ahead or too far behind, like that's when mistakes are made and everything. So it's good to just keep it like one shot at a time.
Exactly.
Yeah, but like where are you currently? Because you're in Spain, right?
Yeah, I'm in a city called Valladolid. It's kind of in the northern, I guess, area of Spain, not super north towards France, but more northwest, I guess. It's a pretty big city. I think it's close to half a mil. It's real nice, especially the spot we're at. We're like a 2 or 3 minute walk from the rink. This
Yeah.
apartment here, and the area's got everything we could ever ask for. The weather's been beautiful. It's still hot I mean in Celsius it's been 27 or 28 still into almost October here, so that's excellent. But yeah, I can't say enough good things about Valladolid so far. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's like what's the culture? Because like you're from North America, so like what's the culture like over there, and like especially because it's different and it's all halfway across the world.
It's just I always say it's easier living. It feels like I mean everyone's still got their day jobs and um, I mean even for me like we all gotta grind it out and put in the work,
Yeah,
but just seems like a little bit less stressful living. Feels like there's less people getting up at 5 a.m. and commuting in crazy traffic to work and all stressed out about that. During the day when you walk around, like there's more people out and about, biking, running, playing tennis, whatever it may be. Just seems like people are having a good time. So if I could describe it in one phrase, I guess it's just a little easier living. So
love that word, love that phrase. You'll take that any day of the week if
yeah,
compared to living over here in North America.
I
Yeah,
like Canada pretty good. I I always go back home to Nova Scotia. I'll always go back there, but
yeah.
it's a good time here for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But like going into like the season, like what's a day in the life for you, like throughout the week leading up to a game week?
Um, I guess not too dissimilar to what you would have in maybe minor pro in North America.
Yeah,
For us, it's one game a week, usually, sometimes two, typically on the weekends. So Monday through Friday is usually a workout in the morning and skate in the evening or the afternoon. For us right now, we skate as a team 3 times a week, and then I have a goalie specific session 2 times a week. But yeah, usually um, kind of the easy living. I don't have to wake up too early. I can usually sleep in till like 10 or later if I want
there
to.
we go.
Get to the gym at 11 or 12, and then if it's a goalie specific session, we usually do those in the afternoon, 2 or 3 o'clock, and then if it's a team skate, usually later at night, 8 or 9 o'clock, which is a little late, but so yeah, it's 5 days a week, um, 5 skates a week typically, plus the game, and you're in the gym every day. Not every day is a big lift day. We have uh, a real good physiotherapist and a real good trainer here that take care of us, and they know, how to manage the load. Or to this point, it seems
Yeah,
like they have a pretty good idea of that. So it's not difficult to be on the rink and in the gym 5, 6 times a week as of right now, and we enjoy it, and we all do it together. So makes it pretty easy. It's a good schedule.
yeah. That seems like a good schedule, and like you enjoy going to the rink every day, and like there's no better place than to be at the rink for 5 6 days a week and just grind it out with the boys like that. That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we talked about this season a little bit, but I want to get into like your background information, like throughout like you've the journey that you've been on, like from the start to where you're at now. Like what's that journey been like?
Grew up in small town Canada, so everyone's on skates pretty much as soon as they can walk. I was no different. I think there's pictures of me wearing skates, walking on the carpet in the living room when I was uh, probably 1 or 2 years old, which is kind of ridiculous to think about. But and then yeah, right away we were fortunate. We lived in a pretty remote area that had a big pond um, right in the backyard, so we were able to skate all winter. So right away I was learning to skate 3 4 years old, and yeah, organized hockey 4 or 5 years old all the way up till um, in Nova Scotia, that is, all the way up till I was 15 years old. My family and I moved out west to Edmonton, Alberta, and played some high school hockey, club hockey there. And that's actually where one of my friends just from school said, we play roller hockey in the summers. It's just kind of for fun, but we think we have a good team. And it's just his friends from school, right? And I didn't really know him, and so yeah, whatever, it'd be something to do. Like I didn't think anything of it. And I, like most people, I probably thought it was kind of a bit of a joke, like beer league ball hockey or something like that.
Yeah,
And so we go out there, and they're buzzing around pretty good. Like for the most part, you got like midget AAA players out there who are, they can skate and they can shoot and they can puck handle. Um, and I'm out there the first time on roller skates, trying to figure it all out. I'm just a fish out of water. So at first I didn't love it, and I was, you don't want to go out there and get embarrassed, even if it
Yeah.
is just kind of fun stuff in the summer. But we had a really good coach who he was happened to be one of our buddy's dads, and he kind of explained it to me in a way like this roller hockey in the summer. It's obviously different at a high level, but like
Yeah.
you can give up 8 or 9 goals and like still have a great game. We could still win. And whether or not that was really true, probably not. That kind of convinced me. It's like, all right, well, we'll make it work, and that kind of convinced me to stay in the net. But I mean, after that, we played that summer. We did really well, and I never really looked back. Like I never really played competitive ice again. I went to a couple like junior A camps or
Yeah.
whatever, and didn't really make it that far. I just wasn't really emotionally invested in it. So it just kind of became a thing where we would play like house league hockey during the winter to keep playing hockey until roller season came around. So um, from there, a buddy of mine from that team and myself went and played university roller hockey, and then you kind of get picked up from there to play on your tournament teams, and then eventually overseas here. So that's pretty much
Yeah.
it.
That's unreal. That's a great path to like have, and like every path is unique, and it like always seems that roller players always start on the ice and then they go right to rollers. What do you notice is like the biggest difference between going from ice hockey to roller hockey?
uh, it's it's definitely more difficult for a goalie. I guess in a general sense, like the foundation of the game is still very much the exact same,
Yeah.
except you're not on ice. You're obviously on roller skates and roller tile. Um, 4-on-4 as opposed to 5-on-5. No icing, no offside. So the rink is wide open. There's more space. There's more touches. Just the room for creativity is like there's just so much more room for creativity,
Yeah.
so many more possibilities, and it can it can get it can become a chess match at times, which I think makes it a little bit tougher as a spectator sport, especially in North America. On the full size like NHL sheets. Over here they play on smaller rinks, so that kind of keeps everyone buzzing around a little bit, and the flow of the game a little more heavy. But yeah, I mean, as as far as if I was telling someone who only plays ice and has no idea what the differences are, that's pretty much it. A lot of it's the same when you get to a high level, and obviously you get into the tactics of it and the strategy, and it becomes a lot different. More of a possession game, more of a
Yeah.
puck control game, similar to what you might see in like 3-on-3 overtime in ice hockey. So it's really exciting, and there's just everything's a scoring chance. So in an ice hockey game where you might have 30 shots and 10, 12 of those are legit scoring chances, in a North American roller game, you might have 12 shots and 11 of them are grade A's. So it makes it fun. It makes it tough on the goalies for sure, but it's a really unique challenge, and I personally love it. I like that it's difficult, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like I got into like roller during like the pandemic when that all happened, and
Yeah,
since like we couldn't go on the ice or anything, like a few buddies and I would found like a roller rink outside, and like we just saw guys buzzing around. So we're like, we should give it a shot. But like I'm not very good at roller skating. It's like it's so weird. I can ice skate, but I can't rollerblade. So I was just out there in my gym shoes, just buzzing around everyone. And but like that was a good time, and like you could just tell just from that is like the skill and like the creativity of roller is a lot different than on the ice, because it's all smaller on the ice compared, like you said, and in a roller rink it's a lot bigger and a lot more open, so more room for creativity. But it's a blast playing, and
yeah.
I love playing whenever I can in the summer.
That could be a whole nother podcast. The differences just in goalie.
Oh yeah.
It's it's again it's a really unique challenge, and I encourage I encourage everyone to take a shot out playing roller goalie some summer and see what it's all about. It
Yeah.
certainly can't hurt your ice game. Having to be patient and hold your feet, and the pucks are a little lighter, so they come a little quicker. And but yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, it's definitely lighter. It's definitely the shots are coming at you a lot harder and a lot quicker. That's for sure. But the boys still love it. So there we go. But you said you went into university roller after that, and you went to Bethel University, and then you were at Lindenwood for a year, right?
Yeah, playing with that club team in Edmonton that we talked about, we did an AAU tournament in Las Vegas. So AAU does basketball. You see AAU basketball; they do like the high school all the time. It was a similar thing for roller hockey, and from there, myself and another guy got recruited to play at Bethel University. He was a lot better than I was at the time. He kind of jumped right in and did really well. I spent a lot of time on the bench, a lot of time trying to figure out how to do college algebra. And so it wasn't such a hot start for me, but, into my second and third year, we just we figured out how to make it work in the gym, how to make it work in the class, and then how to make it work in the classroom, and then how to make it all come together on the rink. And from there, I was lucky enough to start getting some starts with the varsity team, the Division I team, and get some looks for the tournament teams, which is, I mean, I owe all of my ability to play now to going and playing in university, without the resources there, like the rink and the gym, and just the people I met there that were high level players and kind of showed me the way. There's no way I'd still be playing. I would be probably working something related to that teaching degree I got.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I spent got my degree at Bethel University. I graduated in 2020. Graduated in my house, in my bed, on my laptop.
There we go.
But when everything was shut down there in Canada, there's no roller hockey in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
There's very little in Canada, especially during the winter. So there's nothing for me to do. I don't play ice. Like all I could really do was train in my garage, and there was hope that things would start opening up kind of post pandemic. That was getting kind of dragged out in Canada a little bit, for better or for worse. But yeah, I was just kind of trapped in my loft there in Nova Scotia with no hockey to play. So the coach at Lindenwood, who I played against, dozens of times at Bethel, reached out to me and said, we're gonna have a spot for this upcoming semester. If we can work it out, that you get enrolled in something here, we would love to have you. And as soon as I heard that, I did everything in my power to make it work. And luckily, they helped me out financially, that I was able to basically go from having nothing and being in my apartment in the winter, wondering if I was going to be able to, get on my skates at any point before the summer, to in a couple days, I'm driving from Nova Scotia to Missouri to live in my buddy's basement and play for them for that semester. Unfortunately, the virus got nationals canceled that year, but that was one of the funnest semesters, or just like 3 or 4 months of my entire life, was that time at Lindenwood, and can't say enough good things about that program. That is really as close to a professional hockey program as you can get in roller hockey in the university league, for sure. So, but like I said, everything I was able to do kind of to this point, basically from getting my start at Bethel, and then going to Lindenwood, and them keeping me on my skates, basically keeping me out of probably retirement, and definitely pushing me to the next level with the coaches and the really good players there. So
How long was that ride from Nova Scotia to Missouri?
oh, it's like almost 40 hours. It was the same as almost the same down to Tennessee, where Bethel is. That's a funny story in itself. Just like them telling us everything's gonna be shut down, and me packing up my car and driving up
Driving the
to Canada
40
as fast as I
hours.
could before they closed the border. But yeah, it's like 35, 40 hours, something ridiculous. But I wanted to have my car and couldn't not pack my TV and all my
Yeah,
hockey gear. So
you
it's a
got to
little cheaper.
pack everything with that.
Yeah, exactly. Moving the life. So
Yeah, exactly. But like during that time that everything was shut down, you're living like at your apartment and you're in your garage. Like, what were you doing to help train and get ready for the season, whenever that would be in your garage?
yeah, that was, I mean, it was a tough time for everybody. I think
Yeah,
I kind of drove myself nuts. Like, I mean, just that last season at Bethel, like I said, I graduated during the pandemic.
yeah,
That last season was when I finally started to get some looks from it was Black Ice now to play in NARC State Wars tours, like those major summer events. Um, and then of course everything gets shut down. There's no nationals. It's looking like there's not even going to be the tournaments in that summer. So that was a huge, I mean, kick in the ass for lack of a better
yeah,
term. Like you kind of hyped up for this. Like this is finally the year. Like things are going to start to go my way, and then everything gets shut down. So that was really demoralizing. And um, like everyone, I think you just no one really knew what to think. My mentality was, well, I can't skate. There's nowhere for me to skate here. No one can really skate, so I'm going to get in better shape than everybody. And that's where I say, like, I kind of drove myself nuts. Like tracking everything I eat, like working out 2, 3 times a day just to fill the
yeah,
time, which I definitely don't recommend. Obviously, you gotta watch what you eat and you gotta train, but there's no need to do that. And then you just kind of beat yourself down, and it keeps going and going and going. Eventually, it's 4 or 5 months of this. You're locked up, and it's like, when is stuff going to open up? When are we going to get to play? Luckily, come June, we were able to play at Tours, one of the events in Tampa, and then at State Wars. So I got my looks with Black Ice and have been able to play with them ever since, which is awesome. But yeah, that was basically it. Just trying to fill the time with some video games and some Netflix. And but yeah, just I took it as an opportunity to try and, I mean, get in better shape than everybody, and
yeah.
maybe it kind of came back to bite me in the ass eventually, getting so burnt out. But that was basically it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you really couldn't do anything else besides work out, play video games. Just that was pretty much life for 5, 6 months or whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's
but
tough.
then you yeah, exactly. And then you got that opportunity in Tampa. So like what was that like, and just that whole experience and just to get those looks like you were talking about?
Well, it was I feel like I had a bit of a unique scenario. Like most of the people that are at those tournaments, they've played in them growing up, whatever. Like I mean, you obviously have your pro circuit, but they
Yeah,
have divisions all the way down to 5 and under, the same you would in ice. So most people I think that have played in that have had some type of experience with it and maybe know what to expect. I had never asked me to play in any tournament of that caliber, that's for sure. And then the starting goalie on the team got COVID, so I was thrust into the net right away. Luckily, like the team is incredible. It's one of the best roller hockey teams of all time. Guys I've been idolizing honestly since I started playing when I was 15 or 16. And they made it real easy. Like they're such an excellent team. Like I think we ran 3 or 4 shutouts in the first 4 or 5 games, like of round robin
there you
there.
go. Boys
So
are buzzing.
I was feeling good. And but yeah, just the group itself is awesome, and they've become my brothers and my family, and even like the wives and girlfriends and stuff. Like we're all a family, and it's just odd. People are having babies now. Like I'm one of the youngest guys in the team, so it's crazy that it's blossomed into that. But that first experience, I was definitely nervous. Like I just didn't know what to expect. Like I think
Yeah.
you're confident in what you can do and what you bring, but at the same time, when there's that level of uncertainty, it can be difficult. But thankfully, they were so good to me, and just such a good team that um, it was pretty easy. I shouldn't say easy, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and it's been the same ever since for the last 3 or 4 years I've been on the team.
Yeah, and like that's awesome, especially like as you go up the levels, like you learn so much more and like you get so many different experiences from going up the levels. Like what was like the biggest takeaway you took away from playing that first big tournament to where you are now overseas in Spain, and just everything you've learned between from going to college, going to these tournaments, then going to play up pro in Spain?
Uh, I can kind of trace back like my, the light bulb in my head moment to, I believe it was 2021. We were playing a team last game of round robin. I believe we were 3-0 in that round robin. So we were playing really, really well. I got the start in a game against a good team, definitely like a solid team called the Pittsburgh Inferno. But a team we should absolutely beat. Like eight,
Yeah,
9 times out of 10, we want to beat that team by a couple goals, and we're a better team. It ended up being a 6-5 shootout win, and it was just a horrible, horrible game for me. And like I said, you might get 10 or 12 shots in a game and in those tournaments, and I think that's what it was. It was probably 10 shots and
yeah,
like 5 goals against. It just felt like everything was going in. I couldn't track it. I couldn't move. Just nothing was going good. Um, and then it was after that game, like you talk to coach, you talk to some of the older guys, and basically they say, nothing matters when you win, especially now we're 4-0, we're the 1 seed in the tournament. Like you got the nice, like better seeding in the playoff bracket. So nothing really matters when you make it happen, when you just make it happen. Like the final game in State Wars this year, I think was like 10-6. Like, I don't think
yeah,
anyone cares that the guy who won gave up 6 goals, like he won. So, and then the other thing is you can't allow, it goes back to what we said before, like it's just the next puck. So you can't allow the game to dictate your rhythm. Like you have to be the game. And that's, I think, why we love playing goalie is like we have the greatest impact on the game. We have the opportunity, to bail our team out or to sink the ship. So,
yeah,
and that's kind of the way I look at it. I try not to get too intense. Like I feel like before the games, I'm maybe the guy that's too relaxed or like it's like he's just hanging out of the house doing whatever before he steps on the rink. But yeah, you can't let the game dictate your rhythm and your mood and your attitude. Like it's got to be the same from puck drop till if you've given up 4 shots in a row, whatever it may be. Like you are the game. You have to be the rhythm. And so for sure, that's the biggest takeaway. And I think what has helped me kind of move from that guy that was nervous, didn't know what to expect, and like kind of a nobody and maybe a backup into a guy who I think you can put into any game at any level and have a and I give you a really good chance to win, in my opinion. So
yeah. That's some good advice and like good things that you learn, because like you are the one that dictates the how the game goes. You could either ride the, or you could either like get sunk to the bottom, or you could ride the middle ground and carry your team to a victory. But if you get too far ahead of yourself, too far behind, like that's when mistakes are made, like we said earlier. And like that's like I love that part of the game where it's like you can either make the team, bail the team out, or you could be like the one that sinks the ship, like you said. But like you have to find that like middle ground though. You can't ride those waves consistently like other people can, other
yeah,
positions
exactly.
can.
You have to be you have to be the bottom, right? Like you have
Yeah,
to be rock bottom. And if you can bring rock bottom up to a level where you're probably still going to win, I think that's kind of what that's the difference between, you look in the NHL, the guys that are fighting for jobs every year, and then the guys that are going to get jobs no matter what,
yeah,
because they bring rock bottom up to a level where you can still win every night.
yeah, exactly. And as you go up the levels, all that matters is the win. So it doesn't matter if you give up 6, 7, 10. If you get the win, you get the win.
Precisely.
Yeah, exactly. But we have a few more minutes here. So like obviously, like I've seen that in Spain, like there's bigger nets and there's smaller nets. Like, but I always wondered, like, is there a big difference between uh being in the net for a small net or a big net?
No, people always ask me this, and I don't really see a big difference. I mean, at the end of the day, you're still just like the middle of the net is still the middle of the net. You
Yeah,
still have to be on angle. You still got to be square to the puck, and then you got to manage your depth, no matter how big the net is. You still have to, have an understanding of your positioning and box control. Not to put too much emphasis on box control, but at the end of the day, like, you're just filling a bigger or smaller box, right? So angles are still angles. The middle of the net's still the middle of the net. The smaller rinks, I guess, can maybe, um, you know, change how you want to play your depth off the rush, or just whenever there's options. But for the most part, the size of the net doesn't change too much for me. It's just, you're still focused on angle, square, depth, and then just being patient and then being reactive. So
Yeah, hey, that's what it's all about. And like, yeah, like when I saw the small net versus the big net, I was like, and I saw you comment to someone on that too, and I was like, I have to bring this up because it is a good point. It is still like you're still the angle's the angle, like the depth still the depth. Like everything from bigger to smaller is the exact same, and it's just all about that box control and filling up the net as much as you can.
yeah, you got it.
Yes, but like what's been the biggest difference maker for you since like over the last 2 years for you to get to just keep increasing your play and just being aware, or you're increasing your play and your awareness of the game.
I think last year, my first year over here, was with a different team. I was in Madrid the first 2 seasons. This is my third season over here. Um, I thought I had a really good season. I was just I came in with a lot of confidence. Our team was pretty good that year, and I felt like, I was in a good spot. Came in the next year, just had a really like slow start. Our team probably roster wise wasn't as good, but I definitely also wasn't as good or playing as well. Um, and I felt like I kind of hit a bit of a lull. And obviously, you're the only guy ultimately that's going to be able to pull you out of that.
Yeah,
But working with Jamie really helped me. I knew that was, like I said, you're the only guy that's going to be able to pull you out of that at the end of the day,
yeah,
out of a slump. But I think that guidance is something I was definitely looking for a while, and started seeking out coaches and who would be a good fit. Obviously, there's really nothing that's roller specific, uh, but just listening to your podcast, listening to In Goal, listening to however whatever many number of other ones, and one guy that I would always listen to, and I always thought everything he said. You don't agree with everything 100%, but
yeah,
everything he said and the way he would speak and just the points that he made, I always thought made a lot of sense. And I liked that he was younger. I liked that his approach was a little more modern. Um, so when he was doing his EGM thing, his elite goalie method, I jumped all over that, and I think it's been the best thing for me in like my career, at least professionally, that I've ever done. So I can't like say enough good things and can't thank him enough. I just really it. I don't think I had an understanding of the technicalities and just how to make
yeah,
reads. And um, I've never considered myself like a super talented guy, super athletic. I don't think I track the puck that well. I'm not that fast. So you know, skating, making reads, all that stuff has always been of the utmost importance for me. That's always been second to none. So when the game felt like it was catching up to me, at the level over here, even, uh, I needed something. So I again can't say enough good things about Jamie. I'm so glad that I went to him. That was like the first guy I talked to, and even Derek Boujan, who I know you've talked to also. I
yeah.
think like he says, he steals a lot of stuff from Bouge, but I think they just everything they say, to an extent makes a lot of sense, and that's the approach that I think fits for me. I think it's been a great fit, and uh, yeah, so super happy. But I think I owe him a lot of credit for kind of allowing me to take the next step, giving me the tools.
Yeah, that's the thing about Jamie is like his programs are like he has programs for like goalies, like athletes, like strength powerlifting, just like literally everything. Like I know he's like there's no really goalie specific stuff. You just got to be an athlete, and like that's like you said, like you weren't very athletic, but like you're connecting all the dots now with the help of Philly, and like he's an unreal guy to help you, and like so is Booge, and like they both know what they're doing. That's for sure.
That was one of the things also, like the first time I talked to him, I was like, I need to take another step here. And like I don't know where to start. I don't, I mean, there's an overload of information. Like it's
Yeah,
kind of an oversaturated thing, even for like the niche that hockey goaltending is. I feel like it's very oversaturated. I don't know what's correct. And he's like, well, none of it's like really correct or incorrect, but like at the end of the day, you just got to be an athlete. So his training, and he even helped me with the nutrition a lot. Like I was able to lose some weight. I was able to just get faster, like become a better athlete. Um, so yeah, like I said, I'm hyping the guy out. He's might use it for ads or something like that, but I really I owe a ton to him. So
yeah. There's so much goalie information, goalie stuff out there that it's hard. It is hard to like narrow down of like who knows stuff best, and like I'm sure every coach says something that's correct, but like there's also so much information that like you say, it's an overload, and you just gotta find the best fit for you. So like
definitely.
yeah, so like that's definitely a huge part. But like you've been playing overseas professionally for 3 years now, so like what has been like your some of your favorite moments playing overseas?
Um, I mean, it's an awesome culture because it's a long week to get to
Yeah,
Saturday night and play that game, or Sunday afternoon, whatever it is. So I feel like, it's kind of like you said, you go to the rink every day and you kind of grind it out with the guys, and some weeks are easier than others. Some days are better than others, but like when you win Saturday night and you get to go out and just, you eat pizza and candy and you have some drinks, and you just,
yeah.
like that's probably the best part. Like you just kind of
Share
get
some
to let
stories with
loose.
the
And
boys,
yeah, like
everything.
that's probably what I look forward to the most. Like is just getting that win Saturday night and then going and doing whatever. Like and then Sunday you take the day off and then you start all again next week. So that's the best. But we've traveled to some awesome places. Like we go to like Canary Islands, Tenerife, Majorca, like these tropical islands off the coast of, like in the middle of the ocean, like down in Africa. Like those are crazy trips. Um, last My first year there, we pulled off a nice upset win in the first round of playoffs. It was a best of two, or sorry, best of three series. We lost the first game at home. We just got dominated, and then like we went into their house, won two in a row, and we're able to make the finals. Unfortunately, lost in the finals, but um, winning that series was just an awesome memory. Last year, my parents were able to come to a game. They flew, and we won a big game in front of them. I'll never forget that, and them getting to watch that. Um, you know, I don't know if that'll ever get to happen again. Hopefully, it does, but those definitely stick out. And then just like I said, the nights where you win and everyone just like comes back in the room, and you're like, that was awesome, and then you get to go out, and that's like, I can't really explain it. It's just you kind of got to be in a hockey team to understand it. You put in the work for 6 days, and then you go out and you make it happen, and you get to celebrate and just enjoy each other's company. So definitely that.
Yeah, those memories, like everything, like the like your parents coming down, your family coming down, you getting a big win there, spending time with the boys, like it's all worth it at the end of the day. Like sure, there's gonna be parts where it's a grind, and days are long and hard, but like when times like that happen, like every bit of adversity that you face throughout to get to that point, like everything is worth it 100%, and I'd do it 10 times out of 10 times.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a game against the worst team in the league,
Yeah,
or like a big upset win. Like you just get the win and nothing else really matters. It's just like we did it. And then you start it all again the next week.
then you do go back, do it all over again, and then the week after that, it's
Yeah.
there's so many worse jobs that you can have than that. That's for sure.
Totally. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
great point.
yeah, but I have a few more questions before we wrap things up here. So like what made you officially like go overseas to play roller hockey? Like I know they have pro roller over here in North America, but like what made you go that next step overseas?
Well, so the professional roller is kind of like it's a very unique dynamic. I would almost compare it to like how like a lot of WNBA
Yeah.
athletes operate. Like WNBA runs throughout the summer, and then I mean that's only whatever it is, 3 months out of the year. So if you want to keep playing, you got to go. You got to go somewhere else. So I spend the what would be your traditional hockey season, like September to May, June overseas. Um, but yes, what I mean, playing overseas is something I've always kind of wanted to do, at least ever since I went to university. Um, I have my degrees and stuff kind of as a plan B, but I never wanted to stop playing hockey. Like when people on my team were like, I'm ready, like I'm good with my 4 years of university, then I'm ready to get a job like that. Just never resonated with me. That
Yeah.
was never what I wanted to do. Um, so your options are very limited. I mean, the guys that play pro in North America, they play in the summer and then either they train all year and don't really do anything other than train and maybe skate um, until the next summer. They play ice or they go overseas. Like those are kind of your options. Um, but yeah, it's definitely something I've wanted to do basically ever since I started playing roller all year round. Um, I don't know, just there was never really like a good time. I didn't want to leave university early because like I was playing at a good level there. I probably wasn't ready to like
Yeah.
play at a much higher level at that point. I wasn't that good for a lot of my time at university. And then, like we said, when I graduated, it was a year where most places weren't even playing. Like there were some things kind of set up. There were talks here and there, but at the end, like it all fizzled out just because of the virus. Nothing was playing. So, um, but yeah, basically, I've always wanted to do it. I've always, ever since I started playing, I just wanted to play year round. I don't want to stop. Uh, and this is the best way to not stop playing roller hockey. So
Love it like that. It's especially going overseas, like it's a unique path. And I'm pretty sure like everyone that plays the game or plays a sport competitively like eventually would love to go overseas and get like that new culture change. And like I know that's one thing I want to do is sometime in my career is go overseas and play, whether that be in Spain, whether that be in Sweden, France, wherever, Germany, like wherever it takes me. Like that's definitely a cool and an interesting experience to just go and see where it goes, and you never know what could happen from there.
yeah, definitely something I recommend, even if you do it for just 1 year or like a lot of guys come for half a year and they don't like it or they miss their family or whatever it may
Yeah.
be. But I think it's something if you have the opportunity to do, it's definitely worth trying. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. But and a lot of people, make their lives over here, kind of like I've started to do. And um, definitely something if you have the opportunity for yourself or for anyone who gets the chance, just give it a try. And it's a different experience for sure, and um, goes better for some than others, but
Yeah.
definitely worth, I think.
Yeah, definitely worth it, and just to get that experience. But my final question for you is what's the hardest shot to save for you?
uh 12.5 to 13 inches above the ground, above the pad, below the gloves. In a general sense, that probably.
Yeah.
I think the most difficult situation is when you get a 2-on-2 or a 3-on-2, and they're coming at you with some speed, and maybe you don't have a back checker, so they have kind of the time to do what they want. In roller hockey, obviously, you can't shuffle the same way you
Yeah.
do it in ice, so there's that friction. So it's very difficult to stay square and maintain like the exact depth you want. Uh, so when they move laterally and then shoot back, it's tough. If they hit their shot, it's impossible. But probably that one, and then yeah, like if it's at that special height where your glove's not really there and your pad's not really there, then it's extra tough. So that would be the one for me.
That those are the worst kind of shots. Always, it's like, come on, like I know guys are going there, but I still I get down there as quickly as I can and still pass me. I'm like, come on.
Tough tracking down stuff.
I guess so, but this is the final question for you. So, like you said, like you're an easygoing guy, like before games and everything. So, like, are you like bumping music, just chilling with the boys? Like, what are you doing?
I don't have like a set routine. I think that can be dangerous when you get
Yeah,
a routine that's
especially superstitious.
too rigid or something like that. Because if one thing goes wrong, then it feels like everything is off. I like to be there super early. 2 hours at the minimum on the road. Like if it's a home game and I just have nothing better to do, like I might be at the rink at 10, 11 in the morning, like just like eating my lunch there. I
Yeah,
just like to be in that environment and whatever,
rink
like
rat.
mess around with my gear, just whatever it may be. Um, yeah, get there 2 hours before, check out the ring, sit, hang out. I'm not like a big music guy to like get in the zone or anything. Like I don't get in the zone, I guess. I'm
Yeah,
just kind of
just
there.
go out there,
Like
have fun.
yeah, the approach I take towards it, and I have some like mental coaches that I talk to that kind of that hate this, and some of them love it, but um, like I don't get like pumped up or focused or nervous or anything to like take a shower or brush my teeth because I do it every day and I'm good at it and I just know how to do it. So it's the same as with hockey. It's something I do every day and I know I'm good at it and I feel confident in my ability to do it. So I just go out and do it. It's the same as anything else I do. So that's the approach I take to it. So pregame, I'm just getting loose, taping my stick, putting my gear on, and then I roll out there and I play goalie.
There you go. That's what it's all about. You're just out there having fun and enjoying the experiences. That's for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, but Jimmy, thank you again for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time, and I want to wish you the best of luck going forward with this season, and go win some games and win a championship.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on. I like I said, listened to a bunch of these in the past, and enjoy the chats that you have with people. And I'm always down to talk goalie for an hour. So there's a good opportunity to do that, and
There you go.
appreciate that. Thank you, and best of luck to you also. And I'll
Yeah,
be looking forward to more of these in the future.
yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.